As the newest part of our David Bowie retrospective.
Oh yeah.
Ding ding, something new.
Oof,
yeah, so, we've gone past all of his, great work. We're bracing ourselves, as it's taken us months and months to do for any of his 80s stuff.
Oh.
But we just watched the video and heard for the first time the David Bowie song Blackstar.
The 10-minute new epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That serves as a single for the album. It's called Blackstar, isn't it? The album.
Yes, yeah. And if it's a portent to what Blackstar the album's going to be, I am very curious.
Calling me excited.
Yes, I really am.
Blackstar was an excellent song.
I loved it. Yeah. I really loved it. The next day, which was the previous album, which we'll get into
at some point
we're going to get into. But my thoughts on Next Day is that it's a really good comeback album.
Yeah.
But it feels like a bit of a warm up. Like, Bowie's gotten the band back together after a while and they're just playing some kind of fun tunes and there's a bit of experimentation going on, but ultimately, it's 14 3 to 4 minute pop songs.
The story tone to Blackstar's Monsanto years.
yeah. Blackstar seems to mark a definite return to the more experimental side of Bowie, which is the kind of Bowie I prefer.
Yeah.
The melodic and the experimental coming together, kind of like Lodger.
Yeah.
My favourite Bowie album.
Well, it was very reminiscent of the song Station to Station in the way that it started in one thing, changed to another constantly throughout.
Yeah.
You had a lot of weird sort of time signatures, weird, like the song would start out as one thing and just became something completely different throughout.
Yes.
Yeah.
It starts out with this kind of weird, like electronic, spacey, droney stuff, and like Bowie's vocals are all like weirdly distorted, and
very processed. Yeah.
And then about 3 or 4 minutes into the song, it turns into almost like a really sweet melody. It almost kind of reminded me of something like Space Oddity.
Yeah, something off Hunky Dory where the strings kicked in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it kind of goes back into kind of weird, like melodic and thumping electronica. Very different to The Next Day.
Yeah.
Where The Next Day was more about the basic band sound. Blackstar seems to suggest the album is going to be a lot more lean towards experimentation with electronica and weird rhythm sections and different types of instruments. And
do you think the album will be all 10-minute epics? There's only 7 songs on there, or do you think it'll be like dotted right station to station?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would quite like it if it was quite a really dense, challenging, like 10 7-minute songs. Yeah. I would love if David Bowie did that.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be Blackstar is going to be the longest. There'll be a few shorter songs, and maybe there'll be a couple longer ones towards the end.
Yeah.
But
the album, the song, I thought it felt it did feel like part of a bigger whole.
Yes.
Like all these sort of weird references and the video as well was playing off a lot of bizarre sort of sci-fi mixed with occult references, like the reference to the Day of Execution, Burning Candle, stuff like that. Like I think it's definitely playing off his past as the spaceman. Like in a way similar, I suppose, to Ashes to Ashes. Like in the video itself, there was a dead
astronaut.
Astronaut. Yeah.
Ground control to Major Tom. Tom's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's become an idol. Yeah. Almost like David Bowie himself.
Yeah.
The song that made him famous. And now they found him and he's
hollow and dead.
Well, one of the interesting things to kind of come out of kind of David Bowie's resurgence is that he's not done any interviews.
No.
He's not talked to anybody at all. No press releases or no interviews with him for years and years and years, and he kind of came out of nowhere and he announced he's going to be doing a new album with a new single out now, and the album's coming out in about a month, and kind of similar to Blackstar. Blackstar's had a really weird launch.
Yeah.
I actually think the music video premiered on HBO.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it premiered on HBO. Yeah.
After The Leftovers.
But one of the interesting things about David Bowie, obviously, for his whole career, is all about him kind of changing persona.
Yeah.
And for a while, it seemed that the mask had kind of disappeared, and we were just getting David Bowie. That's definitely true for his 80s to his throughout the 90s. Kind of the mask had gone, and we were just getting David Bowie direct.
Yeah.
What's kind of cool now is that the mask has gone back on.
Yeah.
I kind of like that sense of mystery about him at the moment. Literally to the point where half the video he's got that wrapping surrounding him, like he's covered in it.
That seemed to me to be a very dystopian image as well. Like, I don't know, something like Children of Men, or there's a film where everyone's gone, it's called Blindness, so everyone's gone blind.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's got like something wrapped around his eyes and then something over it, stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It is playing off a lot of that. It's mildly camp as well, which I liked.
Yes, I like the whole, like he was doing that thing, and again, the guys having like the seizures and stuff, and
It was like
David Bowie was like singing and fluorescing, and it was almost like a return to kind of camp Bowie, which I quite like.
Well, yeah, if you look at the classic stuff like the 70s era, where it's like the ridiculous video to Life on Mars, where it's him just as a clown.
Oh, yeah.
Or stuff like that. It seems to be, it's a very nice seeing him embrace camp like that.
Oh, you think of probably one of David Bowie's campest songs, Driving Saturday. I adore that song.
Yeah.
It's like the campest song he's ever done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bit camp.
Yeah.
It was a bit pretentious. It was a bit ambitious. It was visually excellent. It was everything you want from David Bowie, really.
In widescreen.
On 5.1 surround sound.
That sounded amazing.
That really did, yeah. The full people, I'm a Blackstar. That was coming from the back speakers. And it just pulsated out to you. It was just like amazing.
Yeah.
And the bass and it was absolutely amazing, yeah.
It does sound absolutely incredible production.
Yeah. So if the whole album could be as good as that, we might be looking at one of the best David Bowie albums since forever.
Since forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was really great. It seemed to be something kind of new for him as well.
Yes, that's what's
I think that's
really
the problem with a lot of obviously resurgences. I've not heard the next day.
Yeah.
But I've heard the song The Next Day and the next and the next, and that's sort of the single. But it didn't seem like anything new.
No, that's the album's problem. It feels new. Like it's nice hearing David Bowie being produced by a modern producer, and the band's really, really great. But yeah, ultimately it's all about your guitar, your bass, and your drum, and David Bowie.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it boils down to. But yeah, what this one was a lot of weird experimentation going on, almost low-esque.
Yeah.
Low and Heroes and Lodger kind of all rolled into one.
Yeah.
Which I like. But I also like how it's not heavily reliant on those.
No.
It reminds me of them. But if you were to put Blackstar in the middle of Low, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't work at all.
It's only a song that David Bowie could write and release in 2015.
Yeah.
There's no other way you could do it, and I'm thinking about his music video could be played next to Justin Bieber's new song.
I mean,
it just blow the minds of people.
I think the video will be a precursor to ideas and themes he'll explore in Blackstar. I think it will be a semi-concept album about a sort of dystopian future, and I think critics will read it as his political album.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be a bit like a dystopian. It'll be about a dystopian kind of future. It'll be return to sci-fi for him.
Maybe a partial remake of Diamond Dogs.
that would be weird. But yeah, what would you give Blackstar out of 10?
That's probably a 10.
Yeah, 10.
With the video, as a visual musical experience, you just kind of sucked into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 10 minutes.
Felt like 2.
Yeah. It's always fun seeing David Bowie do anything.
Yeah.
Particularly on screen, because he's a really weird, interesting man.
Yeah.
From an artistic point of view, I loved the images. I loved the way it was all put together. I loved the song. I thought it was great. And as a Bowie fan, I'm pretty excited for a new album. I cannot wait. It's probably my most anticipated album of next year.
Is it next year? I thought it was coming out this year.
January.
Alright. I think the best compliment about this is if it was released in a single in 1978, his lost year, he didn't do anything, it would be seen as a great... It wouldn't be a demerit to that period.
Yeah.
It would be seen as just as good as something from then. It's a great song.
Yeah,